MLB.
Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, Patio Joe, and I'm joined here tonight by my man, the OG, Paulie D. You can follow him on Twitter at Paulie8Ds. This is the MLB DFS podcast for June 8th, 2018. That's right. We're going old school, guys. Patio Joe is back doing the YouTube show, at least for one night right now. You might be asking yourself why. Well, the wife is out of town. That's right. The twins are with the wife right now. I got my toddler asleep. So of the many things that I could be doing right now, jerking off, whatever, I decided to come with the nation and talk a little DFS with Paulie D. This is what I want to do. I've been yearning to do this, guys. You got to understand that I want to get in front of the camera and talk to you guys and talk about DFS, but it's so hard right now. So I had the little opportunity today, and I think for you premium members, I'm going to be on the Wise stream tomorrow. We're going to talk about this slate, but I'm with Paulie today. I'm real excited. Paulie, what's going on?
Not too much, man. It's good to have you on. Pretty much we did it every night last year, and we had a good season, so I've been missing you. And this is a good time. The nation is, as hot as it's ever been right now. This moment right now is the hottest, the entire nation's been. We got the most subs cashing big. Some of us have been cashing well, and it's an awesome time. So, we'll dig in tonight. We'll do some review tomorrow, enter a lineup, cash big money tomorrow, Then you can go back into hibernation for a week or two.
That's right. Yeah. And, I've been playing as much as I can. And when I have been playing, I've been using the steps that, we talk about in the, in the profiling session as you do earlier in the day, doing those kind of things, not really, not trying to overanalyze things too much. And I've been doing quite well. The last, Sunday I hit it. I did really well. And I played a few days. I did cash in playing these GPP tournaments. So going well.
You were the first one of us to get into the 300 club on FanDuel. That was impressive.
Yeah. It's made me believe, you know what? Just keep on playing those high dollars and get that 300 again. It's going to come. You know what I mean? It's going to come. So it's funny, guys. You can always responsible bankroll management doesn't mean you always got to be doing cash or GPPs. You just can always just do 5% and you'll be like, you know what? I'm going to just do one big GPP and that's what I'm going to do. And because that's all I got time for. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just pick. You see how much time you got right now. Because obviously right now time's tough for me. And with everything, I suppose I'm working and stuff. So it's a big deal. It's about finding out who you are as a player. That's what I'm always preaching about. So, but we got a huge 14-game slate. There is one game, and wouldn't you know it, that the one game is featuring the smooth sounds of Chad Cool. I mean, it was almost too perfect that I wish he would have been on the slate, because we have another pitcher that's on this slate that's totally appropriate. That's always on the slates whenever I'm on the wide stream. That's Doug Fister. I barely even know her. And he's on the slate tomorrow. So it seems like I'm always on the slate. So if you're watching in the YouTube, we definitely appreciate it. If you're watching on Twitch, iTunes, Podbean, all those stuff, we really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into it. First game of the night, we got Jhoulys Chacín of the Milwaukee Brewers traveling to Philly to take on Vince Velasquez and the Philadelphia Phillies. We look like we got no real weather. It's going to be overcast, and the Phillies are a little bit of a favorite. What you got, Paulie D?
Vince Velasquez has looked really good of late. The Brewers strike out versus righties. They, have not really looked all that good of late. I have a lot of interest in Velasquez. 8-3 on DK. He's pairable with some other high, top arms. And, if we get a good ump here and, maybe someone misses in this lineup, Jesus Aguilar, even though it's a righty on righty, that guy scares me. Maybe they give him a day off and play Choi or something. That'd be great. But definitely have interest in Velasquez. Don't have interest in Chacín on the road in Philly. The Philly bats have been crazy cold. But, I don't mind, a mini stack or, a one-off of, a Odubel Herrera or Carlos Santana. I think we'll find better spots on the slate. This is my first look, though, but for sure, Vincent Velasquez is going on the list of to be deeper diving into tomorrow.
Yeah, looking at Velasquez, he's the kind of guy that's going to be around the 8K range that has over 10 strikeout upside tomorrow that you want, that can go up against some guys that are up. We have some good aces pitching tomorrow. So the only guy that really I'm looking at him, because he's basically a fastball pitcher. He's fastball, curveball. The only guy that really scares me is maybe Travis Shaw. He seems to be profiling well that I'm looking at here. All the other guys, nothing really to be scared about. So, yeah, when a team that strikes out a lot is facing a strikeout pitcher, that's always a good recipe. And Velasquez, I don't know if you'd be expecting him to go deep into games. But that's his MO. He'll go like 6 and strike out 8 or 9. That's what you're hoping for. Get the QS and the win. On the other side, you can always stack against Jhoulys Chacin. He always can. He has be prone to be blown up. But yeah, the Phillies just haven't been hitting the ball good enough to be maybe warrant a full stack on this kind of slate. So yeah, let's move on. We have Andrew Suarez, the rookie of the San Francisco Giants, traveling to the nation's capital to take on Steven Strasburg and the Washington Nationals. The Nats is pretty much a pretty heavy favorite and not really any weather to worry about.
Yeah, okay. 10-8 for Strasburg on DK. Definitely in play. I think I like some of the other options around it more, but it's a pitcher's park, and the Giants last year, they didn't strike out at all. This year, they're, in the top 10 versus lefties and righties. Let's see real quick. Let me just see what Strasburg's recent form looks like.
He was hurt a little bit.
Okay.
He got pulled from a game his last start, I believe.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just their form is their probable starter for Friday.
Okay. So he pitched June 1st, went 6.2 against the Braves, struck out 10, got 45 FanDuel, no win. The game before that went 5 innings against the Marlins, got the win, 8 Ks, got another 45. He seems to be in fine form. 7 innings, 5 was like his floor. What does it say about the injury?
They said that he had cramps in his left non-throwing arm.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
If you were a pitcher, would you use your throwing arm?
Your non-throwing arm. You had cramps in your left non-throwing. That's weird.
You know what I mean? Like when you're home and everyone else is gone. And would you use your pitching hand if you were a pitcher? If you had a $100 million arm? So I'd probably go off him.
No.
He's in play. There's guys I like better. It's very rare that Strasburg strikes out like more than 10. And the Giants, they actually had a decent week offensively. I don't think they'll get to him totally, but we'll see the lineup in the ump. There's guys I think have more upside, and I would want him to be cheaper to really consider him. I'm just not interested. But he's in play. He's cash and tournament viable for sure. Suarez, on the other hand, that's kind of interesting to me. Like, he's done well of late. 6,500, if you're going to go like all the way up to like a Chris Sale, maybe you want to consider him. The Nationals do strike out. They do struggle versus lefties. They've been fairly cold. They had like 1 or 2 blow-ups surrounded by like 8 to 9, like very, very low-scoring games. This guy's shown us he can get somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5 to 7 Ks. He can go 5, 6, maybe 7 innings. The only problem is I don't think he's going to be in line for the win. It's probably like a DraftKings only to get a sale. But I think we could do better. And really, I'm not really interested in the bats here. Maybe Rendon, Michael Taylor, like a 2-man mini or something like that. You can always play Bryce Harper, but I don't, I think you don't need to do that on this slate either. That's like, a GPP donkey kind of play. Mm-hmm. But, this guy will be gone and maybe he gets a homer later. He can homer off of this guy. But I just, I don't think it's like a plus like situation where it's likely for him to do that. And on this big of a slate, I don't think you need to get that far off the board. So it's really, I'm not going to be doing much here, but I do think Strasburg's definitely in play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you want to throw a dart at any one of these pitchers, I'm cool with it. But if anything else, though, I'm really just not really into this game. I think Strasburg is a good pivot if you want to go somewhere else in the same price point. You know, like if you look on FanDuel, he's priced at 10-4, and he's right around Bauer and DeGrom. So, you know, if you do your lineup and you got, you know, depending on how it fits, you can throw one of them in there, and they do have that upside to get you. So that's where I like that. And Suarez, I guess if you're dumpster diving tomorrow and you want to get in those bats from Coors, stuff like that, obviously I think you could do it.
Yeah. I think it's not a FanDuel play. No. You know? Like going against Strasburg, the win's like very unlikely.
You're right.
It's a DK SP2 play only in tournaments.
You're right.
And like, you know, at first I said like to pair with Sale, but now that I think about it, it's probably like a double pay down option where you're going to go like him and another 8K or less kind of guy and load up on bats and be different. I don't like, you know, I think you can get a safer pairing or cheaper, better point per dollar for Sale or one of those other expensive guys than Suarez here.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm just not into the bats. There's other places you can go. The Nats, they always seem to roll out some weird lineups and such. You know, I guess if Wilmer Depot was hitting up, you know, maybe first or second, maybe you want to maybe throw him as a cash game, just kind of salary saver. But I mean, Longoria 2.5. I mean, there's just it's nothing there really like you would need in a cash game. You could just move on. All right, next game. I think I like this game a little bit. We got Andrew Kashner and the Baltimore Orioles traveling north to Canada to take on J.A. Happ and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, so, you know, well, Kashner, obviously I have no interest in. You know, he does throw a variety of pitches, but it's mostly fastball sinker with a little bit of slider, changeup, and curve. Not enough to, you know, be like, oh, the Toronto don't hit sliders. And, you know, we've talked about this. I think that trend is, you know, on its way out. Sometimes, you know, CC shut them down with the slider a couple nights ago, but Kashner's no CC. You know, I think the Toronto bats are somewhat in play. I haven't really, this is my first look. I think we'll find better spots, but they're in play. You want the lefties mainly against Kashner, but you can throw a righty in there too. It'd be, you know, Smoke Morales, Solarte, Granderson, and probably those guys. If Teo Oscar's in the lineup, I don't mind him. On the other side, what is Happ on FanDuel? Like on DraftKings, he's like 10-4.
Happ is 9. No, he is 9-4.
9-4. And what's like Sale 11-8?
Sale is 11-5.
So you're getting $2,100 discount. I mean, he's been really good. Baltimore struggles tremendously versus lefties. I mean, outside of Machado, they don't have another guy with an ISO over 207, and that is Chris Davis, who's just terrible, like against lefties. I mean, you know, not good. And Happ has been dominant to lefties this year and striking them out at a 33% clip. I do like Happ. There's a few guys I like better. Maybe like he'll make one of like 5 teams for me, but you know, I wish I could get more of him. It's just like there's guys in that range I like just a bit better. But this is actually a really, really premier spot. I think you could use him in cash. I think it's better in tournaments. And we'll see, like, you know, they had the roof open today. We'll see if that is a factor tomorrow and what kind of umps these guys get. But, you know, if there wasn't 1 or 2 guys I like am in love with, like if this was like a different slate, I'd be using Happ here against Baltimore. Like this lines up as a premier matchup for him.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go back to the Toronto bats. Mm-hmm. Here's why I like the Toronto bats tomorrow. Kashner throws over 50% sinkers. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at these lefty bats. We've got a lot of them hitting ISOs over 200. A lot of, you know, you got, like you said, here's why I like them on FanDuel. They're cheap. So if you want to get in the pitcher and do a full stack that you can have confidence that's going to go off, that might be a little bit off the grid, or maybe they won't be now because they are sort of cheap. You look at their prices, and you got Morales is 2.3, Smoke is like 3.3. You got
Smoke is 3.3.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, 3.4. You know what's also nice on DraftKings, you got to choose between Morales and Smoke. On FanDuel now, you can play them both, so you can get the full Toronto stack on FanDuel.
Exactly. Granderson is not that expensive. He's only 2.5, and Solarte is only 3.1.
Wow.
So I'm saying as a price point, if you want to get in one of those top arms, there's your team. Cashner, we all know Cashner can be either Cy Cashner or he could be freaking money. You just cash money off of him because he just gets blown up.
And ship all the money, Cashner.
Yes. So
on DK, it's a different story. Like Morales is cheap, but Smoke is 4.3, Solarte is 38. Excuse me. Teo Oscar's 4K. Grandy's 35. I mean, it's not crazy expensive, but it's not the cheapest stack either. Over there.
Labs has got Donaldson coming back, questionable too. I don't know how that makes it work or not, but I like the lefties though, guys. So, and then on the other side, actually, you made me look into Hat more and seeing how they strike out a lot. He's another guy that I think you could throw him and obviously it's a good pivot. Like I just don't think that on FanDuel ownership's going to be a issue tomorrow in GPPs. Then you can pick whatever pitcher you want. In cash games, I got one guy I think in cash everybody's going to go to. But in everything else, I think, go who you want. I make your bats. See what bats you like. But if you want a cheap stack, I like those Blue Jays tomorrow. I mean, Vegas likes them.
There's one factor when we get to the other guys that I'll bring up that swings the table for me right now, and then there's other things we're waiting for, the lineup, maybe someone else isn't in, and blah blah blah, or the umpire or the weather. But when we get to some of the other guys, we'll bring it up. Checking Donaldson, and you're right, he's eligible to return from the 10-day DL tomorrow. That's very interesting.
What's his FanDuel price?
Last time he came off the DL, he had 2 home runs.
Did they fuck it up again? Let's see. He's 3.4. He's fairly cheap.
Yeah, he's usually up around 4,500.
Yeah, I remember last time he was like 2K.
2K.
They've learned their lesson not to do that anymore. Dumbasses. All right, next game. Next game we got Trevor Bauer and the Cleveland Indians traveling to Detroit to take on Michael Fulmer and the Detroit Tigers. No real weather, and the Indians are a little bit favorite. What you got?
What's the total?
It's about 8.5.
8.5. Okay. Bauer's, he's a pitcher that has, taken the leap to the next level.
Next step, yeah.
Him and his rival, Garrett Cole, neither of these guys were considered, top aces last season, and they are both considered that now. Bauer has just been dominating of late, and Detroit doesn't strike out a ton. You definitely got to take a peek at the lineup. If Victor Martinez and Miguel Cabrera sneak into the lineup, the K rate drops way down. But if you take one of them out or two of them, it could run up. So you got to take a look at the lineup. Bauer's a guy that when his stuff is on, he can miss bats. He's got a 12.7 swing and strike rate. So even teams that don't strike out a lot can against him. You would want him to have a good ump to get some additional calls versus a team that, maybe a little more patient. But definitely not scared of Detroit here at all. I think Bauer's in the conversation. Let me see what he's the second highest pitcher though on DraftKings. He's more expensive than Sale. He's $700 more expensive than Sale. So the only thing I can say is game theory. Nobody's going to use him, but that $700 may come in really handy. And it's a team that doesn't strike out. He's on the road. Who's And I mean, Fulmer's looked horrible of late, but like even the win's not guaranteed here. So only in like deep GPPs on DraftKings.
All right. What about the
Cleveland
bats?
Bats. Let me see. Let me take a quick look. Like Fulmer was cruising along his last start against Toronto, and then whatever it was, the 6th inning or so, he kind of like imploded. But like overall this year, he hasn't looked great. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. He's not striking out guys. 1 second, I'll give you the lowdown on him. But and Cleveland is not a team that you want to pick on. They're not striking out a ton, and they have been one of the hotter teams. I mean, I feel like it's every other day they put up another 10 runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see using Fulmer at all on this slate. 4.42 xFIP, 19% K rate. The walks are up this year. That's his problem. 9.5% walk rate, and he's given up a lot of power to lefties, and the Indians can get very lefty. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, Alonso, Kipnis, Chisenhall's back now. Like, no effing way. I don't know if the Indians will be my favorite stack, but they're certainly in play. They're in the conversation right now.
Yeah, I feel like the Indians are somebody you can almost play every day. You almost be like, I have a little mini stack of the Indians in there, like the Red Sox or something. Like there's those teams where you see the pitcher and they're profiling well against them. So if you want to go with guys like E5, Ramirez, Brantley, Lindor, Alonso, like even the righties, they profile well against him. I like it. On the other side, Bauer, he's only 10-4. I think he's 10-4 on FanDuel.
10-4?
Yeah, he's 10-2. He's 10-2. Okay. So he's the 5th.
Big discount off.
He's the 5th highest. So it just Detroit doesn't strike out enough.
Yeah.
So am I going to go there, or would I go to Hap or Strasburg?
I'd go to Hap.
And
one thing about the Cleveland stack, though, like on DraftKings at least, it's crazy expensive. I mean, J-Ram, he's got to be in the top 5 most expensive bats on the entire website, like at 5.5, and then Lindor's 4.9, E5 is 48. Like, you are gonna have to. Brantley's 48. Like, if you want a 1 through 4 stack, like you are gonna have to pay down a pitcher. So they will probably be extremely low owned on this slate. It's just. I don't really love the spot. Detroit's really a stadium you want to use right-handed bats if you're going to, stack them up, and it is all lefties. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I'll land there. Like, if I'm going to be spending that much money, I'll probably use it on, a team in a better spot.
All right, let's go on to the next game. You're going to have a lot to talk about this one. We got Paulie D's New York Yankees and Masahiro Tanaka traveling just a little bit of ways to
Subway Series.
Subway Series. What borough is the Mets playing? Is it
Queens?
Is it Flushing? Oh, it's Queens. Did they used to call it Flushing Meadows? No, was that?
Yeah, that's like a town within Queens.
Okay, yeah. And Jacob deGrom and the New York Mets. It's pretty much an even here. Actually, deGrom is an underdog in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Go. I'm going to give you the floor, Paulie.
Makes sense because, so deGrom has been phenomenal this year. And if there's ever a time you want to face the Yankees, it is right now. They got pretty much dominated by Sam Gaviglio and Marco Estrada the last 2 games. Like,
that's crazy.
Is a whole nother level. You could probably argue that deGrom has been one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball this year. Like, outside of Scherzer, he might be number 2 or 3.
Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole.
Yeah, okay, but Garrett Cole's come back down to earth lately.
Yeah.
He started off that way.
Verlander. He's another guy. But yeah, keep going.
Verlander's on this slate, so we'll do a little comparison later. But in his last 2 weeks or so, deGrom has just been lights out. His last 4 starts, I think, his lowest score has been a 25 and his highest of 40.2. And, you'll take a 25 in this spot at that price. 10-6, like not even that expensive. The average exit velocity off of him is 87. That's phenomenal. And the hard hit rate is 18%. Like, guys are just not making good contact on him, and the swinging strikes are way up. Let me pull up his this full season's numbers. The only issue for me is on FanDuel. Like, I don't know if he's going to be in line for the win. Like, the Mets bats are just dreadful right now. And, you really want to pick on Tanaka with righties. So, like, Tanaka's in play as well. On DraftKings, the win is really not that vital. You could be fine with him, just going 7 innings, 15 Ks, yada yada. On FanDuel, you really want that win. So, like, I think I like him more on DraftKings, but just listen to this: 2.55 xFIP, 33.6% K rate. I would venture to guess that's the highest K rate on this slate. We'll find out. Just elite stuff. Swinging strike rate at 15.5. Outside the zone swinging percent rate, 33%. Like, 1 out of every 3 pitches he throws, he's getting the guys to swing at pitches out of the zone. This has been by far his best season, and he's had a couple good ones. He's given up 0.31 ISO to righties, 0.81 ISO to lefties. Everything's just elite. And the Yankees are cold, and they've been striking out. They can get owned by dominant pitchers, and I will be using a ton of Jacob deGrom tomorrow. Like, I do not think you should use the Yankees bats. They are extremely cold right now. Gary Sanchez, he's got 3 hits in his last 40 at bats. His exit velocity is one of the lowest of the starting catchers right now. It's a good time to pick on the Yankees, and I will be all over deGrom. Let me take a quick look at Tanaka. You can take any pitcher against the Mets right now, but you'd rather have it be a lefty. Tanaka has been mostly good this year, but he can get lit up. 3.92 xFIP, only a 23.4% K rate. And, the Mets, they're not striking out versus righties, 19%. So I don't think, it's the best of spots. But what's Tanaka's price?
8.6.
8.6, yeah. On DraftKings, he's 9.5. You could pair him with deGrom at 10.6 and be all right. It's a little pricey, but, you've definitely spent more on pitchers before. I like to be just under 19. So I think there's a couple other guys a little bit cheaper. I'm more interested in Velasquez for $1,200 less, but I don't think Tanaka has a bad start, but I don't know if he's got enough ceiling to compete with some of these other guys. So he's probably not going to make the final cut, but he's safe. No bats. There's not a single bat I'm interested in here.
Yeah, I definitely. I think deGrom is the ultimate GPP pitcher tomorrow. Nobody's going to pick him. I don't think. I think just because of the name brand alone. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think? I
don't think any one pitcher will be that highly owned.
But you see my point. How just people will pick him just because he's playing the Yankees.
Yeah, because he's going against the Yankees.
Yeah.
And you can find $500 to get Chris Sale, or Strasburg's only $200 more, or there's this slate is loaded with good arms,
Yeah. So,
and, the guys that are not going to get ownership though is Verlander and Bauer. You're just not going to pay more for them over Sale, Strasburg, deGrom.
Yeah, that's why I think deGrom is in a great spot, like you said. The Yankees, they're cold. The run total down. They're a little bit of a favorite. Other side, obviously you're not taking any of these Mets. And, I think, deGrom should be definitely heavily considered because he definitely has that 60-point upside to match, Sale.
This game's probably going to be 1-0.
It could be, yeah. All right, we got Marco Gonzalez and the Seattle Mariners traveling to Tampa to take on Wilmer Font and the Tampa Bay Rays. I think is this one of the bullpen games that the Rays are going to roll out?
I've never heard of Wilmer Font. Let me take a quick look.
It was started with the Dodgers, I think.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, this is another bullpen guy. He's never pitched more than 2 innings. He pitched June 5th, that'll be 4 days ago. 2 innings, 1K. It's not really about who the starter is with Tampa. It's about who the next guy is. And, right now they're, low on those guys. It was Banda. He's hurt.
Yarbrough.
No, Yarbrough pitched 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like Yarbrough is one of the guys.
Yeah, Yarbrough, Pruitt, Banda, and Yarbrough and Pruitt just pitched, and Banda's hurt. Mm-hmm. I don't know, who else they got for this kind of role. Usually that information does start to trickle out if it is somebody, but I don't even think we really want that guy against Seattle here. I mean, I guess it's in play, but it might just be like a straight-up bullpen game. A couple guys go 2-2-2-2-2. Mm-hmm. So unless we have, firm confirmation it's this guy and he's cheap and worth it. But Seattle seems to be kind of waking up. It's not the best of ballparks. But, Nelson Cruz is starting to get going. When he gets going, the rest of his team kind of follows. And they've got dangerous bats. When they're heating up, I really don't want to mess with them. I'm not interested in the Tampa Bay pitcher tomorrow. I used Pruitt today, and it was fine. But not tomorrow. Marco Gonzalez, I don't think he's really a very DFS valuable pitcher. I think he's more of a good real-life pitcher. Doesn't really strike out a ton of guys, and he's a super control guy, so guys make a lot of contact. He gets, a good amount of ground balls. This is a big park. He's probably fine. I just don't think he's got enough upside for you on this slate, and he's not, super cheap either. He's 7-1. It's not crazy expensive, but let's look at his game logs. Just faced Tampa, went 6.2, got 6 Ks. That's his third most on the year. Got the win. Everything kind of has come together. He does have 20-point upside. That's his ceiling though, 22-ish. I just, I like other arms a lot more. I don't think we need to go here. Mm-hmm. No bats. Seattle bats I don't mind a little bit, but
it's funny. A couple weeks ago, I'm trying to remember the game they had one of these bullpen games, and for a while everybody's been staying away because they're like, I don't really want to attack it. And then they had one of these bullpen games, and somebody went out for 20 runs, and it was that was who you had to have that day. I don't know. This is just a big slate. When it comes to a game like this, I don't even really look at these guys. I just don't. I kind of cross it off.
You got to cut the slate down, and this is
you have to trim the fat. I guess if you're playing cash somewhere and somebody pops up as a value, Daniel Robertson, if he leads off at 2-3
I used him today on a 5-game slate. He hit a home run, but that was a 5-game slate.
Exactly. In a cash game setting, yes, this is the guys that you want to look for, that we tell you, okay, he's leading off today. Okay, 2-3, play him. That's a good value if that's what you want. If that's how the lineup comes and you need a shortstop at 2-3. That's what you go for.
Yep.
But when it comes to a stack or anything, let's just move on. We got Eric Lauer, San Diego Padres, traveling to Miami, taking on Caleb Smith and the Miami Marlins. I did say a little bit earlier, Smith has been fairly good, and I wanted to see what you thought about it on this slate. What do you think about this game?
Caleb Smith is 9,100 on DraftKings. San Diego has been much better of late. They're getting healthy. Renfroe, Villanueva's back. They called this kid Franmil Reyes up, who's just been a monster. It's 3 very good right-handed bats in the lineup now that, weren't there earlier. And, they can hit the ball out of any park. Caleb Smith, seems to be kind of regressing back to the norm. He was like, pitching above his head. He still has upside. Like this San Diego projected lineup strikes out 23.5% of the time against lefties. It's a great park. If we get a good umpire, it can work. But this guy, Caleb Smith is walking guys 11.2% of the time, and that's dangerous against this team who has a handful of guys that can hit it out at any time. You put a couple guys on, and next thing you know, 3-run home run, and you're pissed you used them, and then the pitch counts go up, and I just, I think he's priced. Like the profit's priced out of him, kind of like if he was 7,500, all right, but at 9-1, that's Walker Buehler. That's or you could save $800 and go back down to Velasquez or Masahiro Tanaka. Like I don't know.
What about 8K on FanDuel?
8K on FanDuel is more doable. Lauer's been bad, so I think the win is in play. Mm-hmm. We'll have to look into the profiles to make like a final decision. I won't take them off the list yet.
I agree.
You got to dig deeper.
I agree. I mean, right now, to me, I feel like we're talking about things like just from first look. Like right now, if you're looking for on FanDuel strikeout upside with a QS and a win, right now it's J. Happ and Velasquez.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. I mean, we haven't gotten to all the games yet, but
another thing I'll say about Smith is he's a fastball changeup guy, and San Diego hits straight pitches. They struggle for sliders, curves, that stuff. Like when a guy's throwing fastball changeup 70% of the time, that's probably a good situation for the Padres. And 92 mile per hour fastball 57% of the time. Like I'm gonna play Hunter Renfroe no matter what tomorrow. Like one off, I probably won't have a full stack, but we
love Renfroe. He's one of the
Renfroe. Yeah, he triple donked for us last year. I mean, Renfroe and Villanueva have like 400 ISOs in a limited sample against 92 mile per hour fastballs. Like I'm using one of those two guys for sure.
And it's crazy, Here's another cheap mini stack. Maybe if you wanted, you can get on FanDuel. You got Renfroe, Villanueva, and Reyes. Renfroe's 3-1, Villanueva's 3, Reyes is 3-5.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So
you can go with a chalky pitcher if you're going with a stack like that in the Blue Jays.
Yeah. And you're just hoping they each hit a solo homer each. Like you're golden. Completely different story on DraftKings. Like Villanueva's 4-4. Brandmill's probably still cheap. Oh, Renfroe's cheap too. Actually, not a different story. They lowered Renfroe's price. No idea why. He had a great week. Dude, Reyes though, he's got 6 home runs. And, I don't know, what's he played? 13 games? He hit 5 home runs in his last 9 games. All of them off righties, though. But, if Padres are working out, you'll see mostly right-handed arms coming out of the Marlins bullpen. So, I don't mind that. A little 3-man mini, to help afford your pitching. Those guys, they're doing well right now.
And, the Marlins, I just never play them.
No, it's not going to happen.
And on FanDuel,
hasn't impressed me, though.
Yeah. Real Muto. I just don't play catchers that much unless they're in a stack.
And FanDuel, I'm with you.
All right, we got Luke Weaver and the St. Louis Cardinals traveling to Great America Ballpark. And Matt Harvey and the Cincinnati Reds. What you got?
I've been waiting for this moment. Matt Harvey against a good hitting team in Great American Park. This is probably the worst good hitting team matchup though. Harvey's got some real dramatic splits going now this year, lefty, righty. Righty, he's really not that bad against. He's not striking them out, but they're not hitting them. They're not hitting them for power. lefties are just destroying him. 404 WOBA, 321 ISO. Like, the whole screen is red. Just everything. Hard contact, fly balls. But outside of Carpenter and Fowler, who's now back, there's no lefty bats you're scared of. I'd have to see some really attractive profiles on the righty bats or some, BVIP and, to like really go in here, but definitely going to have a little bit, probably a 2-man or maybe a 3-man to attack Harvey in this stadium. And, once you get past him, the Cincinnati bullpen is not very good either.
Well, you hope that, they move Fowler up.
Yeah, he batted 5th today, so like I'll take that, but I'd prefer him being like 2nd,
right behind Carpenter or something.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect. A little mini stack there. Yeah, they seem to, we'll see. Obviously it's a small ballpark too, so look at that. Any interest in Weaver or attacking him? I know that the Reds can go up.
Him, probably. Weaver. He's, he just hasn't looked great this year. Like the K rate is down. Cincinnati, a team that doesn't strike out at all. And, like he's getting hit by lefties, not really a ton by righties. And, since he's got a handful of good power lefties, like Scooter Gannett's been on fire this year. He's been doing so well. He's almost like priced out of play at like almost 5K, but I definitely like him in this matchup. Got to see how the rest of the profiles work. Joey Votto, this kid Winkers, a cheap value leading off, could be a cash game play. Schebler played leadoff today, was, on the base pass a handful of times. You might even be able to go Billy Hamilton if he gets a favorable spot. And like this park. And Weaver just hasn't looked good of late. I think he kind of got blown up his last start. Let me see. 7,500's a decent price tag, but I mean, he struck out 4 guys his last start, 3 the start before that. He's given up 5 homers in his last 4 starts. It's just, he doesn't pitch deep into games. Like, I don't see it here against a pretty good offense in a good park that doesn't strike out. I prefer the Cincinnati side, but not like my favorite stack on the slate or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Matt Carpenter might be somebody you might want to just start your cash game off with tomorrow, your lineup. I think he's a great cash game leading off.
Yep.
Great matchup, profiles well against Harvey.
Yeah, I think
maybe
that's a great BVP too against Harvey. I'm looking that up, so keep talking. But
so I'm more interested just one-offs against Harvey, and then on the other side, I think you can stack against Weaver because I think people think that he's still sort of like this prospect and he's a good rookie, but he might get moved down once one of these guys get back from injury. Because Flaherty is pitching better than him right now. So I think you can stack, maybe not a full stack, but I like the lefties against Weaver, definitely. So let's move on. We got Dylan Covey and the Chicago White Sox traveling to Boston, Beantown, to take on Cashes and Chris Sale, Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, so, obviously, Chris Sale is in play versus former team. He has massive stealing. He struck out 15 Blue Jays in a complete game performance less than a month ago. But Carpenter does not have BVP against Harvey. That was fake news. But I did say I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought it was him. I wonder who it was. The one was a triple. Sweet. So Chris Sale, I like the way he's priced on DraftKings. I think he's going to be kind of popular, and I don't love it. Like, Chicago's getting healthier, and Chris Sale seems to, I don't know if, those 2 monster games, wore him out a bit, or, he just, hasn't, had that ceiling game since then. He's, given up a home run in 7 games in a row. But the last 2 in particular, 6 earned runs and 4 earned runs against Houston and Atlanta. And Houston really struggles versus lefties. So, like, I don't know. I think I'd rather, like, take a cheaper arm that I think, is not going to come anywhere close to giving up 1 or 2 runs. You know what I mean? Like, I just think DeGrom, Happ, like, I'd be shocked if they got hit. Sale, like, he's gotten hit the last 2 times, and the White Sox, like, they were the best offense against lefties last year. Like, I think they're going to start progressing back towards that. Like, they just got such good righty bats. And, Matt Davidson just got back off the DL. Abreu's been doing a lot better. Like, I don't know. Even Kevon Smith just came back, another, like, righty prospect catcher. And, he's had 2 multi-hit games. So, like, I don't love Sale by any means. Like, you want to use him in cash for the block, he'll probably be, like, the highest owned cash game pitcher. But, like, I'd be willing to bet he is not in the top 3 raw points tomorrow.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. People are going to look at the fact that the White Sox strike out the most against lefties, and they're going to see Chris Sale, and they're just going to lock him in his catch games.
Yep. It's
hard not to on FanDuel. When you're looking at the quality start, win, and strikeout upside. It's just hard not to. It's hard to overlook that.
Yeah.
Do I think that Verlander can go with him toe to toe because they're $100 apart? Yes, I do, and DeGrom can too.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to cash games and being safe, you gotta go with Chris Sale on FanDuel tomorrow, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's just What
do you mean by safe? Like, he has, like, he checks the boxes, like, likely to get a win, big favorite, can strike out 10 guys,
quality start.
Yeah. Okay.
Facing a team that strikes out a lot.
Okay. Because, like,
you gotta also think.
I don't think he's safe in terms of, like, like, of those guys you mentioned, Verlander, DeGrom, like, I think he has the highest, like, ceiling of, like, runs that he may allow tomorrow. Like, if he gave up 6 runs tomorrow, like 2-3 runs, no one would be shocked. But I'd be shocked if DeGrom gave up 6 runs. I'd be shocked if Verlander gave up 6 runs. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm looking at the White Sox, the teams, like, people are going to look at, okay, the Rangers have, that crazy power that could happen in Arlington, and the Yankees are the Yankees.
Where's this game?
This is in Boston. So
good hitting park, righties.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it can't. In cash, I think you should go with Sale if you're going to pay up that high. That, I think
on DraftKings where he's a discount, like, yeah. I'll say, like, I can't pay for Verlander more, but on FanDuel, like, I don't know, like, I'll take the $2,100 discount for, I think it was DeGrom we were talking about.
No, the discount would be Happ.
Actually, I'd like that a little better because on FanDuel the win is so important, So in that sense, I do like that about Sale. Let's take a look at, like, the lines real quick. Is he the biggest favorite on this slate?
I think he is. He's minus 285.
Yeah, he probably is then. We'll see. I gotta see how that line moves, but I feel like, I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of got beat up. I mean, those last 2 starts weren't good. He's given up a home run every single game. Like, soon those are going to turn into 2 or 3 run home runs. And, like, I've, like, used him the last few times, and it hasn't been fun. Like, to be honest, like, not for cash, but this kid, Dylan Covey, is in the conversation. Like, I rostered Matt Boyd today against the Red Sox, and it was one of the most comfortable rostering of a guy I was petrified to use. Like, he fucking cruised through the Red Sox, and the Red Sox are atrocious versus lefties right now.
No bets, too.
Yeah, no bets. I'm sorry, but this is Dylan Covey, and he's a righty. I was confused. I was thinking of Rodon, who they are bringing up. I think he pitches Saturday. So,
really?
Scratch that lefty stuff. That might play Saturday. Never mind about Kobe. But Boston's bat's been hot. Maybe we can use him. I don't know.
We went from not playing him to all right.
They're just a different world versus lefties. They've been terrible.
Yeah, like you're saying, guys, I just think maybe not for GPPs, but for cash games, I think you just got to go with Chris Sale tomorrow. And on the other side, you can obviously, I think you can always stack the Red Sox, especially against Dylan Covey, and they have one of the highest projected run totals of the night, and White Sox have the lowest projected run totals of the night. Let's not try and overthink the room. Let's move on to the next game. We got another ace. We got Justin Verlander and the Houston Astros traveling to Texas to take on Doug Fister. I barely even know her. And the Texas Rangers. He's always on the damn slate when I'm on the show. Always.
It's amazing.
Like,
you might need to use him tomorrow.
Oh, no. Let's not go there. So,
what's the temperature? You got that there?
It says 95 degrees clear. The humidity it's not going to be humid, though.
Yeah, I mean, we got to take a look at the dew points. Like, it could be low humidity and still high dew points. It's a weird temperatures over there. But, I mean, it's just been like, the balls have been flying out of there last few nights. I mean, we had two pretty damn good aces today, and there's still a handful of home runs today. Like, I just can't pay that price tag for Verlander against the Rangers that are heating up. I think if there wasn't any other options, I think Verlander will do very well here. He's done well historically versus them. But the Rangers, they just came out of a long coma, and they've got a lot of power. They hit 5 home runs as a team 2 nights ago, and I'm just not why would I spend more for probably the best hitting environment on the slate? I'm just not going to do that. I'll go to Sale or these other guys. On DraftKings, he's just too expensive at 12-4. I can't use him. Houston bat's definitely interesting. Against a righty that's soft throwing, all these guys are going to be in play, and certain guys are kind of waking up. Evan Gattis has been really hot. Springer's starting to get going. Alex Bregman's starting to get going.
Man, we love Bregman.
Yeah, even Tony Kemp for value. They'll probably bat ninth. They're on the road. He's been hitting well lately. So the whole lineup's in play. And I'm okay if you want to do a one-off with one of these lefty power bats on Texas. Gallo, Odor, Ronald Guzman for cheap. They're all really cheap, so I'm fine with that as well. Verlander gives up home runs.
I think Verlander's going to give you a game exactly how Cole did today. 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 run, 3 walks, whatever.
Yeah, that's not nowhere near enough.
You can't win you a slate, especially at 11-6. So that's why I'm against Verlander. You can always stack against Doug Fister. I mean, you can really, seriously, guys, you can just take the hole and just gape it open and just stick that fist right in there and just pound it with the Astros tomorrow if you want. You know what I mean? Find out who gives up and just, you could always stack the Astros. You finally got the joke. You finally started listening. I was waiting for your reaction.
I was just stunned. My mom listens to this show. No, she don't listen. But,
so great though, man. I just I have a smart TV and we have the YouTube app on the smart TV, so I can put the actual podcast on my 65-inch big screen TV. So I'm gonna do that when I go home. I mean, when I go out to the living room. Anyways, so nice. I love, listen, I love stacking the Astros. They won me a lot of money this last year, and just because they've been a little bit, they're too good of hitters. And I feel like as the year gets going on, their athletes are going to be like, okay, we got to start getting into a gear. We're going to be in the World Series again. They're still the best team in baseball, in my opinion. I don't think anybody's going to beat them, especially with that pitching. I don't care. Tomorrow, Fister throws
Sinkers, I think.
Sinkers. And, so you got guys like Bregman, Correa, Altuve, Springer, everyone. If Reddick plays, last time, he's good. Like you said, Gaddis's profile as well. And you can always do a lower the order stack if you wanted to get just a piece of this game or a small mini stack of it. And I agree with you if you wanted to do a little one-off, but I wouldn't on this slate. Let's move on. We got Garrett Dick Richards and the Anaheim Angels traveling to Minnesota to take on Lance Lynn and the Minnesota Twins. The Angels are a little bit of a favorite. What do you got here? I think the Angels might be a sneaky stack team, but that's just off. This is the first look. What do you think?
Sure. Lance Lynn, historically he's a guy you pick on with lefties only. And
they got Ohtani.
Yeah, Ohtani's got blisters, though. I doubt he'll be playing. They got Valbuena, and that's it. The other dude's hurt. I think the Angels are going to be fine, but I don't know if it's like a plus, this profile's well kind of situation, But am I going to say don't play Justin Upton and Mike Trout against a terrible pitcher? No. But it's not ideal. My first instinct was how do the Twins look? Because they've been hot. Eddie Rosario and Eduardo Escobar. Wow. Those are the guys you didn't think were their best hitters, but they by far are. Dozier and Snow are more these one-trick power ponies. Don't really do much else. Strike out a bunch, but these guys are just they steal bases, they hit home runs. They both have multiple home run games this year. They're just, they are really driving this team. And then there's a couple other lefties, that you can use. Kepler, Grossman's a switch hitter. So I like this Twins team. But Richards has been good. 368 xFIP, 27% K rate. And he's, splits neutral. He's just been dominating both sides of the plate. So I don't know if I'll jump on the Twins here. I, don't think I'll use Richards. But you take one of those two, Eduardo's out, and I probably would, because Twins can strike out, but their weakness is against lefties. This game's probably more of just a cross-off.
Cross-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I kind of agree with you. Like I said, the Angels maybe on the first look because Lance Lynn can always get blown up. So, but yeah, Eddie Rosario kept me from a really big day on Sunday. He had that third home run, or I would have won a little bit more money. But yeah, they're hot, and when the Twins are hot, you should play them. I think Garrett Richards, you can go either way tomorrow. I think you could stack against him, or you could play him, and he could be maybe. I don't want to say it. Yeah, I don't know. He could be. He does have the upside, but I don't know. I just don't think I'd go there tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to go more than 2 or 3 pitchers. What we talked about. So far, it just seems like we got about 3 guys that we like, and we're just going to go that way. Let's move on. We got Zach Greinke and the Arizona Diamondbacks traveling to Colorado to take on German Marquez and the Colorado Rockies. We do have a Colorado slate. How are you going to approach it?
I don't think you need to use a Greinke on this slate. I think he'll be fine here. I think he's good, but the K upside really hasn't been there most of the season as compared to some of the other guys on this slate. I know the Rockies have sort of been hot lately, but I don't think they'll get to Greinke all that much. I do have interest, though, in the Diamondbacks. They are certainly coming out of their slump. Goldschmidt's finally gotten going. Jake Lamb's been on a tear. Peralta's been following, and now some of the role players are starting to get it going. Marquez is a guy like I do respect. I don't always look to pick on him. I don't think he's a gas can by any means. But Arizona has, historically just, hit tremendously in cores. Like, I want to say that they probably are the best non-Rockies team hitting in cores over the last 2-3 years. So while they're hot,
pretty good too, yeah.
I will be looking to try and get some of these guys in my lineup. But, for me, like, I'll take good pitching over good hitting, like, when making my lineup. So if I can't afford them, I can't afford them. I'll find other teams. But I will certainly be looking to use one of those high arms as my top priority. But if I can get one or two of these guys in, I will. And John Jay just got traded to Arizona. Interesting to see. I'm guessing he's going to bat leadoff. So I think you're going to see a lineup of like John Jay, Goldschmidt, Lamb, maybe that catcher they've been batting, John Ryan Murphy or Peralta. But I think, Jay could be a guy that's like, just get on base and then like he'll steal bases, he'll score runs and, get on 2 or 3 times, work some walks and, the stats will just come by getting driven in the rest of the time. So he's going to be like a great cheap add-on to the stack until like his price catches up.
Yeah, I think with the arms going tomorrow, I think if you want to fade this game, you totally can. I'm not scared one bit.
Yeah,
I'm not scared one bit, and I think if you wanted to get a piece of it in cash, John Jay at 3.4, he's pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. Everything else, I'm just not like Descalso at 4K at second base. I just don't play 4K. I don't pay 4K for a second baseman unless it's named Jose Altuve. Yeah, wow. Yeah. I mean, I look at the matchup. Marquez's last 2 starts have been at home. He put up 30 against the Dodgers and he put up 46 against the Reds. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just I think it's with the pitching matchup being as it is. I think tomorrow, guys, the Diamondbacks have somebody going that you want to attack. But today, I don't think you worry about it. I'm going to fade the game right now. That's what I'm going to do. So let's move on. We got the Kansas City Royals. And somehow, I don't understand this, why a 9K Jake Junis traveling to Oakland to take on, I have no idea why, an 8.5K Frankie Montas. I mean, am I? These are DraftKings prices? No, they're FanDuel price. What in the world?
I mean, Junis is 8K on DraftKings, but I mean, he's earned it, dude. Last 6 out of 7 starts, 9Ks, 7Ks, 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 8Ks, and a 3. He's got 90 pitches or more. He's pretty much gotten 1 walk per game outside of 1 where he walked 4 against Minnesota. He's only given up 2 home runs in those 5 games. Couple earned runs, he's deserving of the price.
I don't know. His highest is 49 points on FanDuel.
Yeah, because he's never getting the win.
That's the thing. I don't know. I put him where he's around, who he's around tomorrow, and I'm nope. Mm-hmm. Sorry, nope. I'd stack against him.
I know. I see, on DraftKings, he's kind of in a nice area. At that 8K range, Vince Velasquez is 200 more. I prefer that, but he's not bad. It's a great park to take a picture in. If he gets a plus ump, that's a big boost. I like him significantly more than Luke Weaver, Marco Gonzalez, and he's 8K here. That's the equivalent of 7K on FanDuel. So he's 2K too expensive on FanDuel. I agree. Where the win is more important. On DraftKings though, I don't mind it at all.
Now this guy Montas, he's had 2 starts. I'm looking at it. Both quality starts, both wins. He's given up 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, 14 innings. I mean, I don't know. I haven't. Have you seen anything about him? I mean, it's
I was in Italy. I missed both of those starts. I'm gonna have to dive into him, but this is the second time he's facing this team, though. Too. It says he benefited from 3 double plays behind him for a pitcher with a career 5.3 walks per 9 in the majors coming into Friday. There's no way I'm using this guy. It's just do we want to use KC? And I doubt it in this park. Like there's just not a ton of upside. KC's one of the worst offenses.
FanDuel and Bueller's $100 less than this guy.
Wow.
It's weird. Weird, very weird. All right. Let's see. We got one more game to go. And here it is. We got Brandon McCarthy in the Atlanta Braves. Brandon McCarthy's traveling to his old team, who's actually hurt the last 2 or 3 years. He actually pitched for the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. And Walker Buehler and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are returning home after a long road trip where they have heated up.
Yes.
Heated up. And I'm still looking at this. This can't be right. This cannot be right. Jock Peterson is 2,400.
What?
He's 2,400 on FanDuel.
Wow, that's chalk. That's chalk city on this slate.
He is 2,400 on FanDuel, guys. He is. It's funny though. He is right now. Look at his game logs: 50, 0, 22, 0, 52, 0, 0, 12.
Mm-hmm.
So, the guy's hot though, man. I don't know. At 2,400, man, he should be priced more. I think.
He's 39 on DraftKings. That's still relatively cheap.
Yeah. Damn. That is crazy. But yeah, that's almost a cash game lock, especially if he's leading off guys.
And he should be.
Cody Bellinger is another guy that is absolutely smoking hot right now. He's hit home runs in 3 straight games. I don't know. Like, he always looks like he is stoned out of his mind. Have you ever noticed that? Like, look at a picture of Bellinger. He looks like he is absolutely stoned out of his mind. But yeah, the last 3 games, you got 3 home runs. He's coming home. He's facing McCarthy. I like it. But I also think that you could stack the Braves against Buehler too.
Yeah.
And it's going to get so low owned. This game might be very, very just like cross off. They might not even look at it. I don't know. But I think McCarthy is going to come try and pitch against his former team and pitch well. Dodgers are traveling across country. They played today. I don't really think it really means it much. They probably got in. You can obviously go for one off with Freeman, or a little bit of a mini stack with these lefties against Buehler. But yeah, I think the Dodgers with Peterson and Bellinger. Bellinger's 3,500. He's not even that expensive, so that's not a bad me stack.
Max Muncy, is this guy real, or like will he be like I
think he's going to stay up because Turner is going to be up and down, but I don't think he's here to stay. I didn't really know much about him before. He can hit the ball a little bit, and I just don't think, obviously it's slate dependent. I think you could play him, but I don't think he's a big prospect.
Okay.
Yeah.
He should have been hot too.
Yeah. He has been hot,
Walker Buehler. I mean, this kid's got good stuff. The Braves, are,
mm-hmm.
I mean, they were like an offensive juggernaut the first month and a half, and weren't striking out at all, and just giving everybody trouble. It's starting to come back to earth. I mean, they're never going to be a team that strikes out a ton, but I'll have to dig into this. Buehler is definitely a guy you want to pick on with lefties. Braves have a bunch. I mean, I'll just, I'll profile his fastball. He throws 95.5 miles per hour. I'm assuming the Braves are going to hit that. And they do. They hit it really well, actually. So I think that could be interesting, stacking the Braves, low owned. Not the greatest of parks, but Freeman's hot. When Freeman's hot,
I think the game could be a decent, yeah.
Especially on a late slate,
yeah.
Sure. Even on the main, I'm with you. Or just grabbing a 2-man from each team, and having late night hammer action. Definitely, these are the Dodgers definitely woke up, and they got a lot more making up to do still. So
yeah, they're only 2.5 out of first. So That's it for the game by game. What do we do now? Do we do top stacks of pitchers?
Yeah, do 2 expensive, 2 cheap favorite pitchers, then top 3 stacks, and then
All right.
Runs.
Let's see. My top pitchers tomorrow. I'm gonna go Sale and Cash, DeGrom, in GPPs, and then down at the bottom, I think you can got J. Happ and Vince Velasquez as the mid tier. What do you got, Paulie?
Jacob DeGrom, my favorite pitcher by far, like in terms of where he's priced, and then I think he'll be the highest raw scoring player on the whole slate. I'm gonna go J.A. Happ as my second expensive guy. Maybe Strasburg makes it in the conversation, but right now it's Happ against Baltimore. And then discount guys, I'm gonna go Velasquez and Jacob Junis.
Ooh, that's way
DraftKings.
DraftKings, you're right. Yeah. All right, give me your stacks.
I have interest in I like the Dodgers. I like I really nothing like just jumped off the page at me, like, stacks wise, like we kind of like wrote off the Indians earlier on, but I kind of like the Indians, and I'll take the Astros.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toronto, the Padres, and I was gonna say Houston.
Yeah, I do like the Padre, like couple right-handed power.
Those three mans, and I like that. And depending on the lineup Toronto rolls out, I like Toronto tomorrow too.
Yeah, especially if Donaldson's in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big boost.
And then let's see. Okay, Dong watch, right?
Yeah,
3 guys. All right.
Like riding a bike, Joe.
What do we do? Like high, low, and middle, or just where we want?
We do infield, outfield, and utility, and then no cores.
All right, I'll make you go. I'll let you go first.
I don't even agree with the no cores thing. Like, first of all, it's not really a home run park, and I don't get it. So let's play with cores. You cool with that? It's your show.
That's fine. Nice. I'm probably not going to pick it anyway.
I'm not going to use anyone there either. Yeah. Except, actually, you know what? I will. I'll go Jake Lamb. Boom.
Sure. All right. I am going to go with Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Homers, we call him now.
Yeah. Outfield. Let's see.
Man, there's just a ton to like on this slate, but I'll go Clay Bellinger.
In the outfield? Is he in the outfield now? Oh, in fan of DraftKings you can?
Yeah. No. He's I'll use him as my utility.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna go with, and stay in that same game, and I'm gonna go with Jock Jams. Jock Peterson.
Jams. Nice. I'm like nervous taking a guy coming off a double dong, but I mean he's
having twice in a week.
I know. Last guy, I will say Hunter Renfroe.
Damn, we're thinking the same thing. I was going to say Villanueva. Villanueva is my guy.
Nice.
All right, let's see if we got any questions there. Somebody said Bauer is going to be the top pitcher on the slate. I don't know about this. They just don't strike out a lot, guys. That's my biggest thing. Are you going to be playing the early slate with the Cubs Pirates? Somebody wanted to know. No, neither am I. Let's see if anything else. I don't think there's anything else. Can I get a donger off a sale tomorrow? Who hits a home run off a sale?
Matt Davidson.
Abreu? Davidson? Okay. All right.
Actually, no, Kevin Smith.
Okay. All right, guys. Listen, that's going to do it for the MLB DFS podcast. Be sure to, if you're listening to on Podbean, be sure to give us a like. If you're listening on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and Twitter and every other social, I think MySpace. I think we're on MySpace now. We just go. Me and Doc Brown got in DeLorean. We went back to 2007, and now we're on MySpace. And let's see. And so give us a like. We really appreciate it. And get a day pass. You're gonna see me again tomorrow on the wide stream. Maybe Paulie and Cash will be on the wide stream too, hopefully. And we'll break down this Friday slate. We'll be ready. And don't forget, tomorrow for you premium members, we're going to be doing breaking down the profiling slate. Guys, I'm telling you, that is so beneficial. It kind of goes at slow, game by game.
The people that have been coming to it and learning have had significant results. Like one of our subscribers, MGE, wasn't even a baseball fan, has won 3 different GPPs in the last 2 weeks for over $8,000. Wasn't even into playing baseball. He just played basketball, did all right, wanted to keep playing DFS, was struggling, came into the class, and he's not the only one. There's a handful of other guys, and it's starting to grow. The word's getting out there, but we break down the slate at our pace. If they're long, it's going to be long. You can listen to it later, but if you want to see our process, how we do the research, what goes into it, what we're looking for, you can really learn a lot and improve your game significantly. And it's, so far guys have had a lot of success with it.
Yeah, and I can't wait till things calm down a little bit and I can come on some of those shows and break it down with you, because it's basically we're doing our research right in front of you guys, so you guys can get it. So get a day pass, sign up for the weekly, the monthly. We get in all sports. That's what we like, guys. Don't forget football season is right around the corner. So anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure doing this tonight. I really, really appreciate coming back on YouTube. Hope to be getting on the YouTube show a little bit more, but it's just all about those beautiful, beautiful twins and how good they sleep. On a day pass, you can get that feature. Yes, you just got to sign up before the day pass, starts. It usually starts about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. Izzo, I'm not going to even comment on that. Oakland Raiders to the Super Bowl. I'm going to leave you with that comic interlude right there, Paulie. That's what he said. Oakland Raiders to the Super Bowl. Go Bolts. That's all I have to say. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the MLB DFS podcast. So, for Paulie D, I'm Patio Joe. And as my man CK in the back says, good luck.
Peace.
Yeah.